Welcome back to the YouTube home of South Metro Sports as we head to our final non-championship game of the 2020 Buckeye Year-End Tournament. Williams will take the first face-off for the Newark Generals and their home whites with the olive green shoulders, green numbers, gold trim. Back in the black jerseys go the Easton Ice Dragons as they head down the ice. Up top, knocked down, that is Jobs in net, opposed by Wood. Easton fell in their first game in a shutout fashion to the Columbus Flames. If Easton wins, they'll set up a rematch against the Indiana foes. Newark fell to the same Flames squad. 11:25 to go in our first period. Back to 12 minutes per period. We have our first change as Williams heads back to the bunker. It's Enders now. Zauberswig with the save. Up ahead, trying to push it through is Morrow. Darted towards the left. See a lot of Generals fans watching. For both teams, it'll be a rematch against the Flames, who have battled incredibly hard this weekend, undefeated in their 3 games. Down low in front of Wood, loose puck, Least fired in, quick reaction, Wood. Great job getting from the right to the left to stop that attempt by Alvarado. Back in the neutral zone, Alvarado towers over most of the friends and foes out there. We have someone that plays for the Columbus Flames watching this game too. A whistle and a stoppage of play and a neutral zone drop. It's Wood versus Jobs. It looks like it's a pre-championship meal for the Flames at BJ Steakhouse at Austin Landing, just across the way. Good steakhouse there, good restaurant, I should say. Now the grasp of Zauberswig. Zauberswig now curving over towards the left. Alvarado stick in the way. As the Generals and the Ice Dragons, so far scoreless. Around the corner it goes. Waiting for it will be Least. A flush up ahead. Now controlled down low by the Generals. Johnson, and icing will be called against Easton. Both teams from Central Ohio. Easton, they call the Easton Chiller home, right by the Easton Town Center. You know, that giant outdoor mall that most people seem to like. And also the reason why we have 3 of our own in the Sunday quadrant, the Green, Austin Landing, and also Liberty Center. Newark just a shade away from Columbus. Now behind the goal line it goes. Dragons in their own zone. Jobs will pounce on the puck. Jobs has given up 3 goals in the 2 games, including the 2 scored by the Columbus Capitals. 9 to play in the first. We have went through our first 3 minutes. Generals setting up camp towards the slot. Good defensive work there by Easton. Doyle across the point. In the left face-off circle, fired on low. Jobs with the forward slide. Now the Dragons fly down this way against the Generals. It's a 2-on-2 working towards the right. Here is Driver off the side of the net. Behind the cage of Wood. Gutman fires it back in. Had a goal against his former youth hockey team. And now Martin pushing up ahead. That last game, the Junior Fuel defeated Alento's Indian Hill 2-1, and that sets up Indy and Findlay. That'll be our first championship game at 140. And some of the Junior Fuel members watching this game, some have the old Indianapolis Racers stuff. Darted towards Wood, in front, shoot away by Zauberswig. Morrow now. Cross this way. Backhander, Wood with the stab. And a save by Wood with 7:37 to go in the first. Again, this is a semifinal match. Win and you play at 3, lose and you're done. It's double elimination 12U A2 upper. As Kessler working from the Zamboni doors. Tomorrow, Generals marching up the ice. And down the ice fly the Ice Dragons of Easton. Pinballed away, Wood with the stop, and Pinion with that shot. The grandparents of Doyle for Newark shot at the chest of Wood. Loose puck, still alive. Trickled wide right by Pinion in the slot. We have Murphy in the corner, 7:03 to go in the first, no score. Fired on in, off of Wood. Loose puck, back at you, Wood, another save. So far, Wood has been dynamite in this contest as Easton. Shot after shot after shot on Wood. And a face-off awaits us to the left of the goalie. 6:54 to play in the first. Finishing up that last thought, the grandparents of Newark's Doyle watching this from the state of Illinois. Spiker takes the face-off. Back to the Easton offense, pinballing off the left skate of Spiker. Here's Fisher guarding. Around the left circle it goes. And now controlled by Yoho. Yoho towards the right face-off circle. Fired. That start off the logo of Fisher. Bumped down was Mollendorf. Tip forward. And just out of the grab of Alvarado. Neutral zone recovery for defenseman Flaherty. To the other side now. Picked up to the left wing at the point. 6:19 to play in the first. Battle down behind the goal line. Sauberswig and Spiker trying to help out the Newark cause. Sauberswig comes up with it. And straight ahead for Culbertson. On Culbertson's jersey, you can kind of see, well, when he's closer, you probably can, as the old school military stencil on the back. That's the old look of the Newark Generals, which year after year becoming more rare to see. The new look is what most of the Generals have. It's block letters and numbers, gold trim and green letters. Williams speeding ahead. Williams scoring a hat trick in the first period against the Columbus Capitals. Held in check against the Flames this morning. Down this way, Williams with the scoop. Going towards the left, connecting with Martin from captain to alternate captain. 5:09 to play in the first, no score. And getting a championship spot on the line for this win. As the next two games will be championships. And we'll start off with the 14U A4 battle. Should be Finley and the Indy Junior Fuel. That's two teams from Indiana that will be playing for championships, by the way. That's something I just thought of, actually. 4:41 to go in the first. No score. Zipping towards the right. That went high off the stick of Gutman. Around the side, it's scooped up by Nessel. Smothers trying to push up ahead. That's Struthers, rather, not Smothers. Smothers makes jellies. Struthers is on the ice. That goes wide to Wood. 4:16 to play in the first. And Morrow taking charge on the right. Up ahead. Struthers pushing across. Zipped up ahead. Fired back in by the Generals Anders. Chip towards the left. With 3:55 to play in the first. There's a lot of Flames fans watching this. And that makes sense because, again, the Flames will take on the winner of this team for the 12U A2 championship. Curved up ahead, blocked was Sauberswig. Hard to believe we're almost done with this tournament. Jobs will reach in and get the rebound from the mess of Generals and Dragons. 0-0 your score. 3.5 left to go in the first. Face off to the left of Jobs. Back this way in the neutral zone. Pushed across. The Dragons in the traveling black jerseys. Turnover out the grab of Hayden. Kessler. Ahead for Spiker, but chiseled away with the stick of Murphy. Back this way will fly the Ice Dragons. Jammed up at the right point. Hayden will swoop around the corner. Now around the bend to drop back to the blue line. And stopped at the slot by Fisher. Bouncing towards the left on the send up. Spiker in front of Johnson. Past the blue line with 2:45 to play in the first. No score between Newark and Easton. Battle of Central Ohio. I believe Newark is the biggest city in Licking County. Yes, there's a county in Ohio called Licking. I believe it's off the Licking River. Here's a backhand and score it for Martin. Martin scores past the net of Jobs, and Newark marches to a 1-0 lead. 2:22 to play in the first. Face-off center ice as Williams takes it. Generals enjoy a 1-0 lead. Back in the zone, it's Zauberswig. And we'll have our first penalty called against Newark. Spin across the blue line, and the referee will call roughing. Roughing has been called with 2:03 to go in the first. And to the box will march Jones. We'll have a face-off neutral zone with Easton preparing for the first power play of the day. Face-off will be Williams, opposed by Mullendor. Martin scores the only goal thus far. We're under 2 to play in the first, and a power play awarded to the Ice Dragons. And that's going to be icing the call on Easton. Too far away from the closest Dragon there, and least. Back in front of Jobs we go. Newark leads 1-0. Face off over to the right of the towering goalie. Behind the net it goes. Here's Fisher guarding the blue line. Easton flying towards some open ice. That's Mullendor taken down. 3 seconds, about 2.5 seconds rather, split the power play clock and the game clock, meaning the power play will end just before the buzzer. Short-handed power play goal for Gutman. Easton takes 44 seconds on a power play. Gutman scores his second on the tournament, first in this game, second on this day, and we're tied up at 1. Again, the power play for Easton took 44 seconds. We're back to 5-on-5 as Wood allows a power play goal. I have no idea how I messed up shorthand and power play. I've done that a couple times last night. I apologize for that, but Easton on the power play goal, and Gutman gets the goal. We're waiting on the referee to finish the conversation with the off-ice crew. And the face-off from the center ice circle as we begin tied. And an offside whistle. 1:10 to play in the first. 1-1 your score. Power play goal for Gutman, formerly of CAHA, that's the Columbus Capitals. They were eliminated in a shootout against the Easton Ice Dragons. Around the goal line. Scooped up. Defensive grab by Bithell. Last minute of play in this first period. Curving along goes Mollendor, and it's caught with the glove of Wood. .45 seconds to go in this first period. The faceoff is Doyle. Past the circle, looking for Struthers. Pass to reach of Bithell. Generals looking for a late first period strike to reclaim the advantage. Even strength goal by Martin. Power play goal for Gutman. That's your scoring summary as we head to the final 30 seconds of this frame. 20 seconds now left as Doyle. The puck on the spine. Just Struthers on the left wing as the center Enders racing towards the left circle. Picked off by Easton. And the Dragons send it down this way. 5 seconds left. Here's Wood. Tap towards the right. 12 minutes are gone. We head to the second period where we swap sides here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Newark and Easton tied up 1. Hope everybody's jumping as we swap sides. Job's now in goal in front of us. You'll possibly see the State of Ohio flag on top of the names on all the Easton jerseys. The Ice Dragons fly upwards, and the Generals will march the troops downwards. It's 1-1 your score. Power play goal by Gutman ties it up late in the first. Even strength goal by Newark gives the Generals a brief 1-0 lead. Gutman on the chase. It's settled down by the defense of Kessler. Back to the Ice Dragons. Swooping around goes Yoho. Around the bend as the Findlay Trojans start to get ready for their game. They're up next against the Indy Junior Fuel. It'll be for the 14U A4 Championship. Fired on in, going wide off the stick of Yoho with traffic in front. Yoho picks up the loose puck, and it slips away from the defender. Newark will golf it to the right corner where the icing whistles take place after the puck crossing the line. 11:09 to go in the second. We have ourselves a 1-1 game. Face-off would be to the right of Wood. Drop between the stick of Hayden and the General. Phillips on the defense as Newark swings away from the Easton defender. Flipped high over Jobs. Martin backpedals it to the left point. Dragons defense going again. Right corner action, Jones and Phillips. Martin towards the slot, bypassing Williams. Fired over the net of Jobs off the goalie stick. Almost a close call there for the Easton goalie, as Newark almost took the lead again, but it stands 1-1, 10.5 to play in the second. Williams squished in the boards. The Zamboni door. Martin trying to help for reinforcements. Hayden golfs it away from Zaberswig. Here's Doyle playing it in the corner. 10-10 to go in the first. 1-1 your score. Biffle now, a wing to the right. So down by the Gens in front of the Easton bench. Hayward now for Hayden. Trying to start up for Pinion. Winner plays for the championship against the Columbus Flames at 3. Whoever falters in this game goes home. There's Hayward around the side. And pushing through goes Hayward on the right wing. On target on Wood, save down low, 9.5 to play. Score remains 1-1. Chip towards the net as Doyle whistles it towards the left. And the alternate captain, Martin, sends it up ahead, blocked off the stick of Murphy. And now here's Morrow off the back of the net, fired in by the Generals. Enders trying to get a piece of it. Here's Hayden coming away with it. A 2-on-1 trying to shake off the one defender in Fisher. From the right corner on. And down in the neutral zone. Kick towards the left. Newark with the interception. Crossing into the blue in the attacking zone. Generals and Dragons tied at 1, 8:40 to go. Alvarado with the defensive push. Alvarado left it go by the down General in Spiker. Alvarado now for Hayden. And looks like Easton will swap out their front line. 8:22 to go in the second. Generals and Ice Dragons tied at 1. Easton looking for the first lead of the game. Tip around. Score that for Least. Least gets the goal to put Easton on top, 2-1. Wrap-around job for Least. Flung on through. And the left winger scores to make it a 2-1 Ice Dragons advantage. Face off, Kessler has to go back and chase it for Newark. 2 unanswered goals for the Ice Dragons. First one on even strength. 7:55 to go in the second period. It's 2-1 Ice Dragons of Easton. Arm goes up, we'll have a penalty and a power play. And looks like it'll be the Ice Dragons serving a little time. I spy with my 2 eyes a General in the sin bin. Might be coincidental minors. So a little 5-on-5 skating will do. With 7:44 to go in the second. Fans of the Findlay Trojans starting to file in to South Metro to watch their Trojans go for the 14U A4 championship. We'll go in the neutral zone, so no power play for either team. We'll skate some 5-on-5. Job's a net opposite of Wood. Belted towards the Easton bench. Down towards the right face-off circle. Pushing on through go the Generals. Zaberswig. Jobs breaks up that pass, looking for Martin, backspinning. And down this way, that will be Looks like Yoho squished in the corner. 2-1 for Easton, your score. Down low in front of Wood. Backhander won't go through. I think it hits off the down Ice Dragon. And Wood holds on to the loose puck. 5th of 7 games today, meaning the Buckeye year-end tournament is wrapping up here. This broadcaster will log in 22 games in a span of 3 days. And no, that's not the most for yours truly. It was 25-3. Might have been the first Buckeye year-end tournament, and offside the call against Easton. 6:52 to play in the second. 2-1 favoring the Ice Dragons over the Newark Generals. That's going to be Driver for the face-off, opposed by Captain Williams. There's Phillips off the left board, slowed down by the Generals' backcourt. Marching across towards the blue line. Here is Biffle. That on in, looking for Martin, but double team, the Dragons had it on the boards. Williams unable to take off. Flung up top, caught by Wood. 6:21 to go in the second. It's a 2-1 margin. And a brand new core of Generals make their way to the battlefield. I know it's not a field, it's a rink. It's a sheet of ice. But battle rink doesn't make as much sense. Fired on in, that's high and off the protective net. That went high towards the blue rafters. 6:15 to go in the second. A 2-1 Easton Ice Dragons advantage. By the way, the Ice Dragons defeated the Columbus Capitals 3-2 in a shootout. I have to correct myself. Because it's sudden death, which I mentioned a couple times, that was the right decision. Have one round zipped wide, and the first goal to score wins. So Hayden had the shootout winning goal. So I do apologize for the inconvenience and the confusion from yours truly. Here's Pinion. Pinion now rowing ahead. The smell of pizza now looming through the air here. Fired on by Pinion. Rebounded puck. Here's Murphy falling down. Pinion trying to tuck it in. Ward has the legs stretched out. Lots of bodies. The puck is still alive. Surprised it wasn't blown dead. We're halfway through this game with 5:29 to go in the second. 2-1 Easton, your score. Here's Hayden. Yoho to the left. Dragons turn around with Pinion. We have Struthers coming out for Williams. The changing of the guards. 5:03 to go in the second. Still remains 2-1 Easton. Early second period goal against Wood. The difference maker thus far. But still plenty of hockey to play. The winner plays for a championship after the next game. Delayed penalty. Williams trying to score. He had the stick in his chest. And I believe Hayden might be going to the box for hooking. Sin door opens. And I guess that's Hayward to the box, not Hayden. Hayden goes back to the bench. But it will be the Ice Dragons serving a 2-minute minor. Mullendor will battle with Williams for this face-off. The Generals on a 5-on-4 for next minute 55. 4:38 to go in the second. Generals trailing the Ice Dragons. Top shelf goal from the blue line. Fisher angles one high. Both teams will have a power play goal. And we're knotted up again at 2. This power play taking 17 seconds. Fisher angled it high over the shoulders of Jobs. And Fisher knots this up for his army of Generals. Again, power play taking 17 seconds. Referee talking to the off-ice crew. There goes the penalty off the board. And we're squared away at 2. 4:24 to go in the second. Power play goal for the Generals. On the left wing, flung on across. Here is Williams from the left circle. Jobes leaning over towards the left. Around the bend. Mullendore. Generals push it across. Here's Martin. Alvarado. Loose puck taken away by Easton. Least, who scored the go-ahead goal. Knocked the stick out of the hands. Blue line time. Sauberswig will play defensively. 2-2 game, high over the reach of Wood, sliding to the left. Neutral zone carry. Slowed down was Least, tangling a General. He was getting up gingerly. That was Jones. The Ice Dragons curve it in. A shot save Wood, fired in by Phillips. And a stoppage of play with Wood trapping the puck. 3 to go in our middle frame. 2-2 your score. Face off to the right of Wood. Going for it now will be Driver. Phillips with the trap job at the point. But Newark coming away with it behind the goal line. 2:43 backhander. Wood says no. Rebound still in effect. But coming out with it will go Kessler. 2.5 to go in the second. 2-2 your score. Here's Morrow. Darted towards the left. Fired on in by the Generals. That time by Struthers. Flung in and blocked off a shoulder of a Dragon. Down low, Jobes, loose puck trickling away. Phillips trying to flip it, that's underneath, Driver. And that'll be a stoppage of play with 1:57 to go in the second. Face-off happening to the left of Jobes. Actually, we'll go in the neutral zone. Sauberswig's cousin watching from Nebraska. That's cool to see. Hayward will fling it off the boards. Fired off Wood, bouncing wildly to the right. Or Driver skims it in. Sauberswig has it. His cousin from Nebraska watching. Hayward turning around, 1:40 to play in the second. Gutman taking charge, laces one, measured well by the goalie of Wood. 1:35 to go in the second, a 2-2 game. Another Central Ohio battle. This one's for the last place in the last championship, last game. This is game number 13 between Newark and Easton. Not numerically correct. Fired up top. Give a goal to Murphy. And Easton goes back on top. This time 3-2. Murphy with the top flip. Over in the net. 3-2 Ice Dragons, your score. 1:25 remains in the second. Face off, Hayden. Pushed around now. Dragons looking for more. No team has had a larger lead than one in this contest. And Newark looks to tie it up here. Off the Dragon stick of Yoho. Culbertson trying to keep it alive for the offense. Flying in with 1 minute to go in the second. 3-2 your score. Newark trailing Easton. And back this way, Hayward picks up his stick. In the neutral zone, fired on home. Past the back of Hayward. 40 seconds to go. We're heading close to the third period. The last one of non-championship action. We have two back-to-back. As Williams left it go, Hayward sweeps it forward. 22 seconds left. Towards the left boards it will go. There's Hayward. Across the blue line and a whistle, and that's offside. Stop the clock at 11.8 seconds to go in the second. Murphy has the go-ahead goal for the Ice Dragons. It's a 3-2 lead now for Easton. And back out of the neutral zone, the Dragons fly to the attack. Wood watches the puck sail around the bends. And that's 24 minutes accounted for, with Easton leading by a goal. 3-2 Ice Dragons over the Newark Generals as the third period happens next on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Third period starting now as Easton flying down the ice against Wood, and the Generals marching upwards against Jobs here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. Winner plays for the championship at 3 against the Columbus Flames. And a whistle, and that's offside. Neutral zone drop will have 19 seconds into the third. 3-2 game with the Easton Ice Dragons on top. Murphy has the go-ahead goal, a center ice drop. Enders now, push ahead. Past the grab of Mullendor. Shot on goal off of Jobs behind the net. Flipped up ahead, Newark trying to tie it. Good pressure by the Generals. Defense sticking with it for the Dragons. 42 seconds gone from the third. 3-2 Easton, your score. Here's Morrow. Bouncing up ahead. Towards the right. Scooped up now by the Ice Dragons, Alvarado. Generals in their own zone trying to shoo it away. Mullendor trying to add on. Wood has the puck slid underneath. Slides back. 3-2 Easton, your score. 10:41 to play in the third. Williams will come in for the face-off, opposed by Driver. Jones will try to whisk it out. That shot goes wide by Hayward in the slot. Kessler coming away for Newark. Kessler still driving. Past the point, over the stick of Hayward. Defense grabs it for Easton, leading 3-2 the Ice Dragons. On top of the Newark Generals. On the grass now. Fisher. Down this way. Here's Gutman curving towards Wood. Gutman looking for another one. Sharp angle goal. Gutman's got two. Gutman adds to the Easton lead as the Dragons, 2 minutes in, ring the bell. That's now 3 goals for Gutman today. 2 in this game. 4-2. Ice Dragons flying over the Generals. Back again comes Easton in the traveling black jerseys. Here's Driver, and he's offside. 9:54 to go in the third. Easton 4, Newark 2. As the Findlay Trojans getting ready for the first championship game. 14U A4 action. They'll take on the Indy Junior Fuel. Findlay will be the home team in that contest. Left wing time. Here's Hatem off a General and flying high over Wood. Zauberswig straight ahead. Spiker off the stick of Hatem. 2-on-1 back this way for the Generals with Culbertson. Spiker takes it, goes around in front of Jobs, controlled by the Dragons defense, and down this way will go Murphy. Murphy has a goal. It's the go-ahead goal if the 2 doesn't change to a 3 for the Generals. 4-2 Dragons. Yoho blocked off the legs of Zauberswig. On the left corner, we'll watch Spiker go for Johnson. That will signal a line change in for Newark. 8:58 to play in the third. 4-2 Easton, your score. Skipping this way, we'll have Morrow. Zauberswig. Scooped up now by Pinion. Now Murphy in the slot, backhander off of Wood, trickling wide. Back to Wood, and stomped on by the goalie with Doyle in front. Zauberswig also there too. "4-2 Easton is your score over Newark. Face-off awaits us to the left. Easton back with it. Tipped off the post though, and Wood holds on for the stop. Nice stretch by Wood. Sorry about an interruption. Alvarado left point with 7:58 to go in regulation. 4-2 Easton is your score. Gutman scoring in the third. The Dragons have scored at least one in each frame. And Easton looking to play for a championship against the Columbus Flames, a team that defeated these Ice Dragons 1-0. Very close battle, very fun game to call. All these games will be here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. If you're wanting one of the most recent games, give it a little while because it still takes a while to process the video to become public videos. But they'll be up there. Here's Williams, unable to send it on target. Here's Jobs covering up the puck. And it's stopped by the Easton goalie with 7:07 to go in the third. Wonderful day for hockey here. 2 games left after the final buzzer sounds. Then we have 4 teams. Again, Columbus, Indiana waiting to find out who wins this game. Delayed penalty. It'll be against Easton as Wood sliding through, had the stop. Almost thought I was wrong on that. I've been wrong before in these streams, though. It's okay. Here's Doyle, left point, flip towards Jobs. Backhander won't go. And a catch by Jobs signals the power play for the Generals. I don't like being wrong, but I'll correct myself if I know, or I find out I am. So to the box for Easton. Looks like that will be Lung. And should be a minor infraction. There goes on Easton. Generals trail by 2. 6:45 to play in the regulation. Sending down this way, it's going to be wide of Wood. Icing the call on Easton. We'll go back in front of Jobs for a puck drop. 9 seconds gone from the power play. Newark looking to chew into a 2-goal deficit. One of these teams is going to be one of the final 4 to play for a championship. We already awarded one championship last night. The Owensboro Puckhogs defeated the Evansville Thunder. This is 10U, A2 lower action. And Owensboro won 10-4. Good run by the Puckhogs. Did not lose a single contest. Strong performance for Owensboro, Kentucky. Around the corners it goes from the left end. There's a collision down low. Anders trying to get a look on Jobs. 1:27 to go in the power play. Sauberswig. A save by Jobs. Now around the side. On guard goes Fisher. And offside went Easton to stop the clock again at 5:57 to go in the third and 1:11 to go on this power play. Face off in the neutral zone with Williams preparing against Hayden. Dragons push it across the blue. There's Murphy to the left face-off circle. Flipped up top and Wood with the catch. Over the crossbar. 5:49 to go in the third, 1:02 to go in this power play. Dragons lead by 2, it's 4-2, Easton. Williams again against Hayden for the face-off. Jones trying to come across the neutral zone. Kessler now. Behind the stick of Kessler, and Hayden takes the leftovers. Hayden trying to flip it on in, wide of Wood. Here's Kessler, left wing. Tripped forward by Martin. Martin with one of the 2 Newark scores. Fisher with the power play score to tie it up at 2, but Easton has scored 2 in a row. Generals have to retreat back behind the goal line with Doyle flinging towards the left. Off the stick of Murphy. Here's Kessler with the cleanup job. 5:01 to go in the third. 14 seconds left on this power play for the Gens. Newark trails 4-2 as Murphy turning around by the red line. And a shot on goal. Here's Wood collapsing the legs and making the catch. 4:49 to go in the third. 2 seconds left on the Easton infraction. Brand new unit of Generals out there and a brand new layer of Dragons. Spiker comes in. Taking on Hayden once again for the face-off. Hayden can't get a clean shot off. We're back to 5-on-5. Lung went to the box. Now pushed ahead. Fired on in. Goal for Murphy. Even strength goal for Murphy. His second, and Easton has now ripped off 3 goals in a row with 4:31 to go in the third. And the Ice Dragons lead the Gens 5-2. Face-off center ice is Spiker for the Generals. Across the blue line, here's Spiker slicing towards the right. Into the corner. Icing whistled against Newark. We'll have the face-off to the right of Enders. It's Mollendorf. Kessler, Morrow. Morrow trying to speed ahead, kept into the left point by Easton. As Newark trailing by 3. Kessler with it. Alvarado behind the goal line. Doyle battling. In front of Wood. Here's Struthers. Struthers now a 2-on-2 back this way. Here comes Easton now on a 2-on-4, wide of Wood. Backhander, Mollendorf. And it's 6-2, Ice Dragons, your score. Backhander trickles past Wood. And the Ice Dragons lead by 4 late in the third. If this result holds up, it will be Easton squaring off with Columbus, Indiana. Game where the Flames won 1-0 with a goal in the third by Warner. It was all they wrote for the offense that game. Here's Fisher up ahead as the Generals now trail by 4, the largest deficit from the Generals. Neutral zone pickup for Bithell. Big collision there on the back of Enders. Whistle, and refs have to come up and split it up. And it looks like those 2 participants will go in the sin bin for a little bit to cool off. That's Murphy in for Easton. Struthers in for Newark. So that should be coincidentals, meaning low 5-on-4. However, I spy with my 2 eyes 4 Generals. And there's going to be 2 more coming in for 1. And we'll make it 5-on-5. As the Findlay Trojans donning the yellow jerseys, they're the home team for the 3rd time this tournament. They will battle the Indy Junior Fuel of Joint. Again for the 14U A4 championship. Like the G-Day's choices of songs, this is Why Can't We Be Friends? God love. I like it when DJs have a sense of humor. Jones from Fisher, picked off by Easton, blocked away. As now Driver scoops it up. There's 2:51 to go in the third. Newark trailing 6-2. Easton looking to punch the last ticket into a championship bout. And again, this championship bout will be played at 3. We'll have Findlay and Indy up next for the 14U A4 championship. And then Columbus and what looks to be Easton at the moment will send us off with 22 games in 3 days. long journey, lots of hockey, lots of great players on both teams, lots of fun action. Hopefully a lot of fun to watch if you couldn't make it down here to Dayton, Ohio. Straight ahead, driver jam with the stick. Fisher. Zauberswig now curving, attacking. Lost the handle in the slot. 1:55 to go in the third period. Shoveled ahead by the Ice Dragons. Trying to claw it. Here's a pickup by Williams. Pushing ahead, firing on target. It's down low and a save made by Jobs. 1:38 to go in the third. 6-2 game. Easton on top by 4. Fired on target and Wood. Catch and drop right to an incoming Murphy. Murphy backhander on top of the net. Almost came down quickly by Pinion. It's the second time that's happened today. You're lucky if you see that once a season. Face-off occurring to the left of Wood. 1:24 to go. It is 6-2 Easton. The Ice Dragons on top by 4, heading into the final minute of play. Hammered off the end boards. Kessler will race back for it, Pinion guarding. Swept forward by Culbertson. And it's down to our final minute of our last non-championship game. And a lot of love for the Columbus Flames in this live chat. Now some love for the Indy Fuel. Spiker, Kessler, Culbertson. 4-goal lead for Easton. Closing on in. Blue line time. Here's Spiker. Takeaway by the Ice Dragons. They will be the away team in their rematch with Columbus, Indiana. A whistle and a stop with 25. The clock still rolling. 23.2 seconds to go in the third. 6-2 favoring Easton. Face-off center ice. Neutral zone push. Coming back this way. Arm goes up. Time for one more power play, and it'll be in favor of the Dragons for checking. Checking the call against the Generals as Morrow will head to the box. Five-on-four time for Easton. As the Ice Dragons in control by 4. 6-2 for Easton. Around the left corner it goes. 6 seconds left. Send around, it's Yoho. And that'll do it. Your last team in the championships, it will be the Easton Ice Dragons, as the Newark Generals fall to Easton, 6-2. The Ice Dragons play again at 3 for the championship and a rematch against the Columbus Flames. But up next, we'll have our first championship at 2 in a row. The Findlay Trojans take on the Indy Junior Fuel. And we hope you join us for that game. It's going to be a good one. Here on the YouTube home of South Metro Sports. We'll talk to you again in a couple minutes. Again, Easton defeats Newark 6-2.